It's a new day. It's a lovely day.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hi friends, welcome on back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Yannick. Full name. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome to Chelsea News. Today we're going to be talking about money. Because, theoretically, we should be in the ruddy money. We should be. And we're going to get into why. As well as maybe some contract extension stuff. And all that good, just great stuff. Yeah, really good stuff. So welcome back to Football Therapy. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you as always for your support here, covering Chelsea every single day, mate. And we're doing Chelsea news today. So thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I do really, genuinely, very much appreciate it. Let's get into it. Also, just while I'm dishing out the thankful, appreciative, red hot searing love. Yeah, man, I hit over 17,000 subs on Football Yannick last night, reacting to the Premier League. I did a video this morning on the Aston Villa controversy and the big financial ramifications there. If you do like my commentary on Chelsea, you might like it and all the other big footballing stories around world football, so do consider checking out Football Yannick. And yeah, that's just Football Yannick on YouTube, or link in top of description. Now, Chelsea will make money. This, of course, I reacted to our 1-0 away win against Nottingham Forest yesterday, back in the Champo League, and that's available on this channel. But huge, and the pressure's off now. We've got, the season ain't finished, right? We've got the Conference League final, which I've been very consistent on. I've been very firm on. I've nailed my colours to that mast. I want to win it. I want to complete the only trophy we haven't won. I do really want to win it, and I think it would be really good for developing a new muscle memory for these young players lifting a trophy. Again, Arsenal haven't done this in half a decade. These young Chelsea players, which, by the way, is the youngest squad in Premier League history, and we finished fourth, above a very senior Newcastle, a good hardened senior Newcastle with like the likes of Isak up front. Similarly, an Aston Villa seasoned senior team with an Ollie Watkins up front. We've not had that. We're a bunch of young kids, and we've done it. So I think for them, winning the Conference League will be huge. And of course, we've got the Club World Cup. More on that in just a moment. So the season's not done. The season is not done. But the pressure's off now because they've got the big cash cow. There's already one coming in the Club World Cup, but this was huge, the Champions League. Now, we're going to run through why this is huge for financial ramifications. First of all, the competition itself. Qualifying for the Champions League brings a lot of money. They call it the £100 million competition. For Chelsea, it's especially pertinent, if I can learn English. And I'll tell you why. Because we've not had a proper front of shirt sponsor for a couple of years. We have been holding fire, keeping our powder dry, edging, to use that term, before we sign a contract. I imagine we've got hopefully several sponsors, potentials, waiting in the wings to be like, right, let's see what they do. If they get Champions League football, bam, let's give them that 50, 60 million pound a year long-term contract. Yeah. So Chelsea are like, well, wait, we could sign this 40 million pound a year or whatever it is deal, but we think we're worth more than that because we're a Champions League team. Well, prove it, says the potential sponsors. We'll prove it, mate. We're just going to get Damac for a little bit, yeah? Get some extra, peas in, and then we'll show you. And they've ruddy well done it. So now Chelsea are in again, it's so astronomically big getting into this. It's astronomically big for any team, but for Chelsea, because we don't have that long-term sponsor. So now Chelsea are in a position where, yeah, not only new potential sponsor, are we going to be in we're a Champions League team now. You're going to have it in the Champions League. But yeah, you get the Club World Cup as well. We've almost certainly already been negotiating with them. You know, this Club World Cup don't come around often. We're the only one of 2 Premier League teams in it. The world will be watching. Your sponsor is going to be on our shirts, mate. Oh yeah, by the way, we're a Champions League club now. That puts Chelsea firmly in a very strong financial negotiating position, baby. Naughty stuff. So, the big Champions League money, locked in. The sponsorship negotiating position, locked in. Of course, finishing 4th itself is better than 5th. The higher up the table you finish, the more money you earn. The more money you generate. Locked in. Now, it may be a tuppence, but getting to the Conference League final, you get a few quid. Negligible, let's be honest, in the reality of things, but winning it is good. Again, it's probably more represents the feeling of winning a trophy. It's the optics, isn't it? And again, potential sponsors, your players win trophies, they win finals. Potentially locked in. And then, of course, the Club World Cup itself is worth nearly the amount of Champions League money itself. For such a short-term summer tournament, it's worth a lot of money. In fact, we were sort of hearing from broadcasters and journalists that if Chelsea miss out on Champions League this season, it'll be bad, but it won't be catastrophic because of the Club World Cup. It sort of fills that financial void, and therefore Chelsea would still be able to go out and buy this, striker, buy this centre-back, buy this winger. We'll still be able to do all that because of the Club World Cup, and because of potential sales, which we'll get into in a moment as well. So it does offer a lot of money, the Club World Cup. So you add that to the Champions League money and you're in serious business. And of course, you add that to the new sponsor deal, which you can add to the books. You can say, all right, look at this accounting. We can now account for an additional £60 million every single year from whoever's on the front of our shirt. Money all over the gaff. Though, of course, it's Adidas. So it's not the sponsor for Man United. It's Adidas who have put a penalty on them for not being in the Champions League. So that would represent Nike or Nike with us. I'm not sure if there's deals with that, or with the main front of shirt sponsor, if there will be clauses in a long-term deal, like, well, if you drop out of the Champions League, whatever. But unlike Manchester United, Chelsea have been very, very sensible with this whole new sporting project with the sporting directors, which we've built an entire new squad. We've got no remnants of the past regime, for better or for worse, of course. But for better is all the new contracts in high-profile players in, Palmer, Fernandes, Caicedo, Cucurella. They've all got, Champions League clauses. I think it's only literally, someone like Reece James who probably doesn't, who kind of, it's fine, he can do what he wants. He's the boy, isn't he? But, so if you're not in the Champions League, you get a 30% wage reduction. Man United haven't done that, and this is what's put them into financial ruin. So there's been, again, it was touch and go a little while for these sporting directors, but they can say now, look at Man United, that won't happen to us. They can say now, we didn't waste loads of money in January transfers and doing Aston Villa really put us in a fragile position and miss out. We didn't do that in January, and we made it. Look at us. Again, this is not a puff piece bigging up the sporting directors, but this is what they will say. They'll tell you, we've played an absolute blinder here, mate. And whatever, fair play. We as Chelsea fans, all we want is success and the ability to get better. I said yesterday, there's a great Chelsea podcast called Chelsea Fancast, hosted by a guy, I haven't seen him in the donkeys, but Stamford Chidge. And they talk about the Arsenalification of Chelsea, which is celebrating top 4. I am very much celebrating top, and they said this years ago, before the Premier League changed with PSR rules, which is, an important thing to note because it has changed. I am absolutely celebrating top 4 because it's a huge step in the right direction, and we are in a strong financial position now, which I'm about to hit home. But I won't celebrate top 4 forever because we are Chelsea and we win trophies. Again, Arsenal haven't won a trophy in 5 years. We hopefully will in a couple of days' time. So we'll see what happens there. And again, it might be a Mickey Mouse Conference League, but I'm going to appreciate it. And then I want an FA Cup, top 3 finish. And then I want a Premier League and a Champions League and all that stuff. So what does this mean? Well, it means we should have a lot of money, right? Not only that, we've got players to sell, which generate a lot of money. Certain clubs are going, Man United, we're in financial ruin. Everyone's for sale. Garnacho's for sale. Mainu's for sale. Heck, potentially even Bruno Fernandes is for sale. Chelsea aren't doing that. We're selling players we don't want who are worth a lot of money. Like Christopher Nkunku. Like Raheem Sterling. I mean, pour one out for Raheem Sterling's footballing career. But Nkunku, he'll bring a few P's in, absolutely. Chelsea have wanted too much money for him, in my opinion, but we'll definitely make our money back. We'll certainly make maybe a book value profit, which is a very, again, not sexy accounting thing. But he's also on massive wages. We'll alleviate ourselves of those wages. Even if we don't get a lot of money for Raheem Sterling, because who's going to buy Raheem Sterling? What we will do is hopefully fully alleviate ourselves of his £300,000 a week. Chilwell, I think we might loan him again because he sort of deserves it and it's a delicate situation. And of course, there'll be other players as well that we sell for a lot of value of money. These sort of players that are good players, even Chelsea fans, would say are good players. Of course, Carney Chukwuemeka. Dewsbury Hall's probably going to start on Wednesday, and we'll make a loss on him and sell him, but he's a great guy and he's a good footballer, but probably just not a Chelsea footballer. There'll be a lot of sales. Like you'd have, if you pulled a figure out of your behind, you could assume Chelsea to maybe generate 150 million. Or certainly north of 100 million, maybe 150 million in player sales. And that is a lot of players, as well. Like the little fringe players, a few academy players that we sell for the odd few million quid that, rack up the total. Maybe Rob Sanchez, we sell Kepa's probably, for 5 million. Do you know what I mean? Like all these players that you're not really thinking of that will probably get sold on top of the big, Nkunku chunk and all dem man there as well. And of course, we're going to find out. We'll probably send Sancho back. We don't know about that yet, but we're probably there's going to be a huge developing story here on Mudryk. Of course, I'll be following that here on the channel. And Chelsea will be in a position with a lot of transfer spend. Now, this is where a lot of Chelsea fans would be like, no excuses. You have got the allure of Champions League football. You have got the money to spend on big players. The question is, what are we going to do here? Now, Chelsea have to be careful because I know we as Chelsea fans are going to feel like kids in candy shops being like, spend the money now. You got the money, you've got the Champions League, spend it. They will be in a position, Chelsea, where they don't want to get overexcited and Man United themselves out of a position of being sensible. Sensibility? Being in a position of being sensible, go all overexcited and Man United themselves. We don't want that. They need to generally, and this is why I sort of say, settle down everyone, stop having fun, don't be excited, don't enjoy yourself. Oi, sit down, stop. Oi, put that Osimhen figure down. You can't buy that, it's too expensive, sit down. You can all have a Liam Delap if you behave yourselves. I don't want to go do that, but there will be a little bit of, oh, sod it, let's give Osimhen £450,000 a week because we've done this and he wants it. And then he comes in, scores the odd goal, it causes unrest in the dressing room, he falls out with someone, and then we've got wages that we can't pay, and then we've somehow Lukaku'd ourselves again, and they're thinking, ruddy hell, why did we do that? Why didn't we just buy Hugo Ekitike and put him on 100k a week? He's gone to so-and-so and continued scoring goals like he did at Frankfurt. I get it. I will understand if they maintain a sensible position here, but I want players. I want good players. If you don't buy an Osimhen or a Gyökeres up front, fine, but get me a Delap and get me a Hugo Ekitike, or get me a Hugo Ekitike and get me a really good left winger, get me a really good centre back, because we need to remember as well, a lot of thing that was circulating on social media is Cole Palmer and Esteval Willian under the Champions League lights. Oh, it's naughty. I don't want to put pressure on the kid, Esteval that is, But there is a bit of that. Do you know what I mean? There is a bit of that excitement, like, because it's Santos, Petrovic, and Esteval. They're the three for me, coming back from loan, that immediately make this team that qualified for the Champions League. They make us better. They immediately make us better, and we haven't even bought anyone yet. So I don't think we need to go, mental, but we are in a position where we can spend and be very good. I mean, very good. A lot of people, and yeah, this is fine. A lot of people aren't completely convinced on Maresca. I'm not completely convinced of Maresca. I do like him. I like how he's a bit snippy, saying it to F off to the haters yesterday. The players really for me, what's important is, and this is going to sound so lame, but the project seems to be working in harmony. Financially, we're safe. Everyone's working together as an institution, and that's massively important. Again, look at Man United. Do you know what I mean? We until Man City came along, we're the two most successful Premier League teams. It can go west, basically. So everyone's working in harmony. The players really like Maresca. The owners, the hierarchy really likes Maresca. He's succeeded in his first season. Why change that? Yeah, so I'm not 100% convinced. I am moving in. He started well. I really liked him. We're moving in the right direction. But I totally accept everyone else's opinions. Some people might not like him. Fine. Football's a game of opinions. He has to prove long term. Let's talk at the end of year 2, see where we're at with him. Guys, let me know what you think, though. There's daily uploads here. I'll react to all big stories regarding Chelsea and football therapy here. So please do subscribe. Hit the bell if you do. Thank you for liking the video. And now you've watched this video, why not go check out Football Yannick, the sister channel, and go show some love and support there if you want to. All right, mate. Take care. Enjoy the football, if there is any. Peace.